Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a piece of micro-literature. It's a short, four-line text that might look simple on the surface, but wow, it is actually this monumental, cinematic epic of survival, sudden transformation, and just absolute dominance. We're going to break down this incredibly dense, action-packed source material to uncover a narrative that honestly rivals the greatest superhero origin stories of our time. So get ready, because we are unpacking the epic saga of the Jungle Star. So here is the fundamental mystery we're exploring today. How on earth did one single rabbit defeat an entire pack of goon wolves? I mean, it completely defies all the laws of nature, right? It totally upends the traditional food chain. We're talking about a small, typically defenseless prey animal facing off against multiple apex predators, and not just surviving the encounter, but completely dismantling them. The sheer absurdity, the massive stakes of our hero's journey, that's exactly what makes this text so incredibly fascinating. But to understand how this impossible victory actually happened, well, we gotta start at the very beginning. Act 1. The glowing magical artifact. You know, every great epic needs an inciting incident, right? A catalyst that changes the ordinary world forever. Before the conflict, before all the chaos, there's this moment of pure, unexpected discovery out in the wild. Now, what's really interesting here is the specific language used in the original text. The rabbit found something shining like a star. I really want you to appreciate the gravity of this line. This rabbit doesn't just stumble upon, a standard root vegetable while foraging for breakfast. No, it encounters an object emitting literal cosmic energy. It's glowing. It's radiating light. This isn't just a snack. It's an anomaly of nature, sitting right there in the dirt, just waiting to be claimed. See, the original text specifically uses the concept of a tara, which translates to a literal celestial star in the night sky, to describe this object. And this brilliantly illustrates the true nature of what our rabbit has found. By equating this shining object to a star, the source material elevates the whole thing from a simple botanical find to a straight-up magical artifact. It implies that this cosmic, otherworldly power is housed right there inside it. The rabbit is literally holding the power of the cosmos in its paws. Moving on to Act 2, Rise of the Jungle Star. So, once you find an artifact of immense cosmic power, what do you actually do with it? Well, obviously, you consume it, and this marks the immediate biological and social ascension of our protagonist. The text says, upon eating it, he became the star of the jungle. Just listen to the absolute finality in that statement. There's no training montage here. There's no long, drawn-out period where he has to learn how to harness this new energy. The metamorphosis is instant, and it is unquestionable. The very second that glowing artifact is consumed, the rabbit undergoes this fundamental evolution, seizing immediate dominion over its entire environment. Now, the absolute crucial point here is the linguistic shift that happens in the source text. We move from the artifact being a literal star, a tara, to the rabbit becoming a sitara. And a sitara isn't just a ball of burning gas out in space, it means a superstar, a legend. It represents this sudden vertical elevation in the social hierarchy and the acquisition of unstoppable localized power. The rabbit has essentially internalized that cosmic energy and manifested it into legendary status. He's no longer just an animal anymore. He is an icon. Just look at the staggering contrast here. On one hand, you have your totally normal woodland rabbit, small, fragile, constantly having to scan the horizon for danger, basically existing entirely at the bottom of the food chain. But on the other side, you have the invincible Sitara of the jungle. This artifact instantly leveled up a humble prey animal into an untouchable force of nature. It's a total paradigm shift. But of course, as we know, absolute power always attracts a challenge. Which brings us to Act 3, the Goon Wolves Attack. Enter the antagonists. The tone of our source text shifts so dramatically right here. The exact moment our hero ascends, the universe immediately decides to test that new power. The stakes go from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye, introducing this massive threat of impending doom. I really want to highlight the breakneck pacing of this narrative, so follow this timeline with me. At 0 seconds, the rabbit eats the glowing object. By 3 seconds, the transformation is complete. He's the undisputed star of the jungle. At 5 seconds, the wolves arrive on the scene, and by 10 seconds, absolute, unmitigated carnage. The plot escalates from a quiet morning snack to a full-blown, high-stakes war in literally a matter of moments. It is just incredibly efficient storytelling. And let's actually look at how the text describes this invasion. The goon wolves arrived and created absolute chaos. The phrasing here is so incredibly deliberate. These aren't just hungry wolves acting on natural instinct. No, the text specifically identifies them as goons. This implies malice, it implies organization, and a deliberate intent to disrupt the peace. They arrive specifically to create a ruckus, to tear down the newly crowned star of the jungle. It's essentially a coordinated mob hit.
Act 4. One rabbit against all.
This perfectly sets the stage for the climax of our story. It's the ultimate showdown between the solitary, newly empowered hero and the invading, chaotic mob. The tension here is just palpable. It's one rabbit against all. And here is the epic victory declaration straight from our source material. The rabbit, all alone, left them in a miserable state. It's definitive, it's brutal. Notice how there's no long struggle described here, no back and forth battle of attrition. The empowered rabbit simply acts, and the result is the complete and utter devastation of the wolf pack. That phrase, miserable state, really tells us everything we need to know, doesn't it? The predators were completely broken by their prey. And this brilliantly illustrates the most staggering, honestly mind-blowing fact of this entire text. It took exactly just one single, solitary rabbit to completely dismantle an entire gang of predatory goons. No sidekicks, no backup, just one hero, supercharged by a cosmic artifact, holding the line all by himself. Let's quickly summarize the tactical sequence of this battle derived straight from the text. Step 1, the wolves rush in and attempt to create chaos. Step 2, the newly minted Jungle Star doesn't flee, he just stands his ground alone. And Step 3, with brutal efficiency, the rabbit neutralizes the threat, leaving the entire pack in absolute ruins. It's truly a masterclass in swift, decisive conflict resolution. Finally, Act 5, takeaways from the tale. So what do we actually do with all this? Because beyond the incredible action and the, supernatural vegetable, there is deeper, universally applicable wisdom woven into this intense little micro-saga. Here are the key life lessons we can impartially derive from this text. First up, do not underestimate small heroes. Potential just isn't dictated by size or history. Second, a cosmic catalyst changes everything. One moment, one discovery, one glowing artifact can literally rewrite the rules of your reality. And finally, numbers simply do not matter when you are the superstar. A mob of goons is entirely irrelevant when faced with someone who has truly stepped into their ultimate power. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. The rabbit's journey started by recognizing the extraordinary right there in the dirt. So I'll leave you with this question. What is the glowing artifact in your own life, just waiting to be found? What is the catalyst that's going to elevate you to become the absolute star of your own jungle? Keep your eyes open, because you really never know when your transformation is going to begin. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer, and keep looking for those stars.